What's up, guys? I'm coming at you today on my drive back to Miami from Tampa. If you guys look right here, I literally shattered my windshield on the M3 yesterday, completely shattered it. I don't know how well you can see in the camera, but it's insane. Like, it happened like a tire hit my windshield on the way to Tampa. So now I'm driving home today. I have to get the windshield replaced tomorrow. I have to get another front lip for the car tomorrow. But I just wanted to hop on here and make a quick little video, kind of freeform, just talking about some of the essential tips and tricks I kind of have for people that are looking to build their SMMA, because one of the things that I'm doing right now is starting to work with some of my coaching students, and I'm seeing that one of the biggest areas that they are kind of tackling up front seems to be just the area of actually picking what direction you go with your agency. And I think that picking the direction to go with your agency is one of the most crucial things in the process of building your agency, because at the end of the day, that's going to dictate what you're doing for the next years to come, potentially. And you want to be in an area that you're comfortable with, an area that you understand, and most importantly, an area with a lot of money that you're going to be able to capitalize on and scale in and actually like fully make money in. So kind of to get started, I want to start with the example of one of my coaching students, Matt. Matt, if you're seeing this video, you're killing it right now. You're doing an amazing job. But just to single out Matt as an example, I got on one of our first couple calls the other day, and my whole conversation with Matt revolved around just talking about the fundamentals of building his agency and what direction he wanted to go. And so Matt came to me and he's like, okay, I have a background in home services. And in his case, it was roofing. And he did roofing for a year and ended up getting hurt, and so was unable to do it anymore. But he has good technical experience in that area. So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, roofing, or more broadly, home services, maybe in your general region or area that you live in, is a pretty good idea of something that you could get into, just because you have a good technical understanding of it and understanding of the different pain points in the industry and just kind of how everything works in that space. So we started with that one. Another one that we got into with him, because we wanted to come up with a couple different ideas. Another one with him was models, because models are just a pretty undersaturated space with a lot of money in it. There's a ton of these OF models that have a ton of money to spend on marketing. So that was another kind of idea we came up with. Not as much technical experience in that space, but it was just another good idea. The third one we came up with, e-commerce brands. In this case, trendy e-commerce brands, because we thought, well, e-commerce brands maybe have a little bit of an understanding of why they would need organic marketing, but e-commerce brands in like this trendy area understand it because they're working with viral products that are constantly receiving organic attention. So for them, it would make sense why they would want to retain someone and pay them basically to run their marketing. So in this case, that's actually kind of the area that he ended up dialing in on, and we've gotten more and more in depth in it over the past couple days as we're talking about how he's actually going to build out an agency that caters to these trendy private label e-commerce stores. And I think that just the ability to take a couple different fundamental like niches that he could basically isolate in on, and picking one that he realizes first of all has pain points, things that need improvement. In this case, these trendy stores, maybe not all of them understand how to make viral content. They don't understand how to make this meme style content that's actually going to convert on social media and make them money and like generate sales. So being able to understand the pain points. Second of all, I think that having an understanding of the niche itself and just kind of what exactly it would entail to get into marketing that type of product or that type of account or that type of brand in general, that's a super crucial thing as well. And third, just having an understanding of what exactly you can do as far as marketing in that space is just a very important part of it. So I think that that was one of the super important things that I touched on with my students in the past few days, and it's just narrowing down on a more specific niche at the very start. You don't want that to be something that you do down the road. You want to really find your area right off the bat, find something that's going to work well for you. So then when you actually go into outreach and you actually start kind of making a point of trying to find clients and everything, you already know what you're doing. You're not out here trying to just shoot stuff at a million different types of people and see what sticks. In this case, you have a very target audience and you know exactly what you're going to be selling them and everything. So I guess as far as the first tip goes, it might seem like a no-brainer, but at the end of the day, you don't want to just jump headfirst into a social media agency without any type of structure. You want your structure built out up front. And in terms of my coaching students, that's my exact goal. It's to build out the structure of their agencies up front I'm trying to help them have an idea of exactly what they're doing and have it completely built out before they even start outreaching or wasting their time trying to find clients. So that's kind of the first thing. Getting into a second thing, I think that it's so crucial with these agencies that you have the right outreach structure and the right outreach ideas. Because with a lot of these guys, especially the guys that I'm working with who are just starting out, who don't have experience in the social media marketing space, they really don't know what makes the most sense in terms of outreach. Some of these guys think it makes sense to cold call or to cold email. And yeah, for some industries that makes sense, but put yourself in the perspective of someone who's going to be spending money on social media marketing. Those are the types of people who are on their social media account, actively investing time into spending time on their social media accounts, cultivating their audience, and just like spending time interacting with people. In my eyes, it will always make the most sense to reach out for social media marketing inquiries on social media to people. It's just the most straight-lined approach because these are the type of people that are going to be spending the most time on their social media accounts, engaging with people who are reaching out to them. So I think that that's something I've really been trying to emphasize as well with my coaching students, and the ability to organically connect with these people without necessarily selling them something right off the bat. You do not want to be that guy that's reaching out to people that's instantly trying to hard sell them on some type of product or service. It is the most disingenuous way to reach out to someone to build a relationship and all of that. And what I will say is, as far as all of my clients go, I work with concurrently probably 60 to 80 models and clients at any time. 60 to 80 people at any given time. You have to understand that is a lot of clientele for a one-man operation, in the sense that I manage all my client relationships myself. So for someone like myself who has this type of clientele, this influx of like constant traffic in terms of clients, I'm not just reaching out to people and just like shooting products, shooting services at them. I'm really working to cultivate relationships and build this trust with each and every single person that I work with. And I think that that is so important, especially in a space like this where a lot of times you don't personally know any of these people. I don't personally have connections or relationships with a lot of the people I work with. Some of them, in fact, probably a majority of them, I've never met in person. So in this case, I think it's more than important that I work to actually build these relationships, whether it be virtually or in person, because that is going to be the way that I build trust with these people and I actively manage to actually retain them. So when I'm talking to my students and I'm encouraging ways of outreaching to these people, I'm not telling my students, oh, go shoot a copy and paste DM at these people. Because trust me, I get 100 copy and paste DMs every single day. Do I respond to any of them? Absolutely not. I don't give time of day to any of these kids who are shooting these. I mean, I get the same DM, I kid you not, probably 10 times a day. Hey man, you're killing it with the content game on Instagram. Do you do anything with email currently? And you know what? I know exactly where these DMs are coming from. These are kids who are watching a YouTube video, and I won't name names, but there's a lot of these guys on YouTube who are trying to sell courses or whatever, who have these basic strategies that they give these kids, and a lot of them just entail copy and paste outreach messages. And it literally becomes apparent that like these kids are watching the exact same YouTube videos and using the exact same outreach strategies. And what I encourage people that I work with to do, be original, be unique. You want to reach out to these people. Hey, I loved your reel about this concept or this subject, or like I loved how you went viral about this because I think that your insight is super unique. You want to show some genuine interest in what you're actually approaching these people about, because first of all, it shows that you have an understanding of what they're posting about, or that you have some type of genuine curiosity or interest in what they're posting about. And second of all, it's just a more unique approach. You don't want to be the same as every other person. You do not win by being the same as every other person. You win by being unique. You win by being someone who manages to set themselves apart from the other 99% of people who are reaching out to someone. So as far as outreach goes, I just, especially with my students, but with everyone who's watching this video, I encourage finding your original approach. Why would you ever want to be like every other person out there who's reaching out to people, who's trying to get someone's business? That's not the way that you're going to land anyone's business. You're just going to be a part of the mass. And at the end of the day, I never made it by being a part of the mass. I never made it by being this cookie cutter way of approaching people. I made it by being as unique as possible, by finding my own creative approach to everything, which enabled me to be successful. And third of all, today, I want to talk about the importance in what I call the 3 pillars, which are outreach, fulfillment, and client scaling. Outreach, fulfillment, and scaling. Those are the three pillars, in my opinion, that are the most fundamentally important things when you are building a social media marketing agency, and in my case, an organic marketing agency. First of all, outreach. Obviously, when you're reaching out to acquire clients. Second of all, fulfillment. It's when you're actually fulfilling whatever product or service that you've been selling to your clients. And third, which definitely can't be overlooked as well, is the scaling element. And that's whether you're going to be scaling outwards or scaling from within and just trying to sell your existing clients more things. And when I talk about the three pillars can be treated like the foundation of a house or a building, in the sense that three pillars are very, very mutually dependent on each other. Or sorry, not mutually dependent, that's the wrong word. Mutually exclusive. These pillars are not single standing. If one pillar falls, the entire house collapses. And in this case, it works the exact same with these agencies. Your agency cannot successfully operate if you don't have a successful operation of all three individual pillars. First off, with your client outreach, this is going to be your most important thing from the very start, because you're not going to be able to build an agency without clients. So obviously, from the very start, you need to have an outreach and client acquisition strategy. And yeah, I guess client acquisition is a better way to put it, but client acquisition, that's going to be the first pillar, because you have to have a successful strategy to actually acquire clients and build up your agency from the start. Second off, fulfillment. Some would argue, and myself personally, I would argue that fulfillment is the most important pillar, because your agency will never, ever, ever stick around for long if you don't have a solid fulfillment. In this case, what I mean by fulfillment is being able to fulfill your service in a way that your clients are actually happy and they want to continue to renew and continue to pay you month after month for whatever service you're delivering. So in my case, when I'm running automation marketing bundles, I want to make sure that my clients are actually seeing results. I want to make sure that my clients are happy with whatever service that I'm providing them and that they think they're getting their money's worth. And in this case, that they actually are getting their money's worth and they're making more money than they're spending on marketing. So I think that fulfillment is the most crucial, because if you don't have your fulfillment in line, if you don't have the infrastructure in the back end, then inevitably you're going to lose all your clients and you're just going to have to continue to build from scratch over and over again. So it's like fighting an uphill battle. And third of all, sorry guys, I'm going without water here. Third of all is going to be your scaling. Scaling, like the other two pillars, is super important. Without an ability to scale, you're inevitably not going to grow your business. But you need to make sure that your other pillars are in place, or scaling is virtually worthless. It's basically just building new clientele while you're losing all of your existing clients. And so scaling in this case means either scaling, I call it horizontally or vertically, which basically is either scaling to acquire more clients or scaling to acquire more business through your existing clients. And whether it be one or the other or both, either way, you're just looking to build up your MRR, your existing revenue streams monthly, and just make more money through the business. So, like I said, if any of those three pillars don't work, your business either will not grow, will cease to exist, or just you won't have any business in the first place. And so I think that focusing on all three of those, but in an organized manner. Obviously, you don't want to focus on scaling until your fulfillment's great. You don't want to focus on fulfillment until you actually have your clients in the first place. So it's definitely like a gradual process, and you don't need to focus on all three at first. But as you go, you just want to make sure that you're not dropping your fulfillment or like dropping your actual client acquisition model while you're focusing on scaling your business, because without one of those, I can never emphasize enough, your business will not be successful. And yeah, guys, I mean, these are honestly just some things I picked up. I think the most unique part about building up my coaching students is just that it places more of an emphasis on me going back to fundamentals and kind of having to teach these guys that I'm working with the fundamentals of a business that I've been running for so long. So a lot of times I'll find myself almost relearning things that I haven't revisited in years. So it's kind of cool. Like, I've mentioned it before on a YouTube video, I think, but a few weeks ago, when I was building out a lot of my video material, I realized that I was putting such a crazy importance on case studies and testimonials. And as I was starting to do that in my video series, I was realizing that my personal testimonials for my business that I'm running and my actual services, I wasn't building out super extensive and comprehensive case studies over the last couple months. So I went back into it. I reached out to a lot of my clients and I offered them basically incentivized discounts for the next month if they could send me over their tracking statistics for the last few months. And it enabled me to build up probably 10 super successful case studies for a couple of my clients over the last few months, which in turn has made my business just boom over the last couple of weeks. So I can almost credit myself for teaching myself in the last few weeks as well. And I think that's just been like a highlight of building up my coaching students, is the ability to also in turn build up my business as well and kind of revamp certain things that I may have left behind. So yeah, guys, I mean, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this drive as much as I can. Obviously, my windshield took a beating the other day. I'm trying to enjoy things as much as I can and just get back to Miami so I can get back to basics. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I hope you learned something new today. And like always, I want you to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and if you learned something new, drop me a subscribe if you can. I would really appreciate it. And if you're interested in coaching and learning how to build your own social media marketing agency, do not hesitate to visit my landing page in the description below. I'll drop the link and you can book a call with me or one of my team members and see if you'd be a good match. But yeah, guys, without further ado, have a great day. We'll see you soon.